Well, hello, everybody. We are live. We have been pumping this up for a few weeks. Today, we are talking to the CEO of Mesa Airlines about all kinds of fun stuff. We're going to update you on a lot of the new RTAG Nation information coming up, new swag that is coming, and also updates for the convention. We are so excited to have you. Welcome to RTAG Nation Live. That's right. We are live. You are watching RTAG Nation live. As you've been seeing us, we've been pumping this up for quite a bit because we've got some really exciting things to talk about. Like I said in the intro, we are going to be talking here soon with Jonathan, who is the CEO of Mesa Airlines, and got some exciting news on that front, and it's really exciting to hear. But first, I just want to say that we are ramping up. We are in that summer drive, that summer kick to be able to get ready for this convention that is coming in October, and we cannot wait. We are closing in on 3,000 registrations. We are about 100 shy of 3,000 registrations, so we are so excited. If you have not booked your tickets yet, if you have not had the ability to make sure that you're getting hotels, all of that information can be found on the website, rtag.org. Under the events page, you can find out not only information about hotels, which, by the way, 2 of our hotels, I believe, are almost at capacity, PG, if that's correct. And so get in there and find those hotels and get that information as quick as possible. And there's also, thanks to PJ, he's really taken good care of us and has set up information about transportation from the airport directly downtown to Fort Worth, where you can ride the train for $2.50 and get right downtown to one of the hotels, and you could save some money that way and get in early. You're going to want to get in early. We're working over the next month and a half to get the event schedules up, the lineup up. You're going to see all of the announcements of the airlines that are coming, some great veteran charities that we're partnering with as well, and we are going to have some new material. We obviously want to say thank you to American Airlines for being our diamond sponsor this year. They, again, are partnering with us. They've been such a huge help, and they're partnering with us. Don't forget about the $20,000 scholarship, RTAG scholarship, that is presented by American Airlines, and also all of the other scholarships that are currently live. We have tons and tons of scholarships that are currently live on rtag.org under the scholarships page. If you haven't applied there, make sure that you apply. You could have your training completely covered by people who really believe in what you're doing as veterans, both during the time of service and post-service. And we just want to say thank you to American Airlines. There's a quick shot of all of the places that are coming so far. We've got more to update and more to update. As you can see us hanging out with old Tom Cruise there. But I want to jump right into this as quick as possible because I think there's some really good information. And then at the end, we'll follow up with kind of some updates and some new things that we've got going on. But without further delay, I'm actually going to bring on our guest today. Jonathan, how are you doing?
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Jonathan,
I'd like to.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on this terrific show. And I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to wonderful people who are listening. And I would be remiss if I didn't start by thanking them for their service and dedication to our country. And I hope that these programs will show some of that appreciation, both from me personally and from our company. So thank you to everyone out there. We really appreciate it.
That's awesome. And those of you who don't know, Jonathan Ornstein is the CEO of Mesa Airlines. Mesa has been a company that's really been doing stuff with us from the beginning. They've been at, I think, almost every convention that we've had. And they've really been, again, one of those companies that's supported the veteran community and our community specifically. And we've been working behind the scenes, and they've been wanting to do just something special. And I think they really do. So let's just kick it right off. We know that we've got a couple things to talk about, but one of the first things we want to talk about is rotor transition program. And why don't you tell us a little bit about, well, let's start with this. Let's tell us a little bit about Mesa and kind of your beginnings and how you guys started and what's got you to where you're at today.
Well, thank you. I mean, Mesa was founded now 40 years ago by Larry Risley, who was a mechanic from Abilene, Texas, also a veteran, and his wife, Janie, that started with nothing. I mean, he literally mortgaged his house and sold his car to start the airline in Farmington on a
Wow.
Mesa. That's how we got our name,
Oh, okay.
flying a single 6-passenger Piper Saratoga.
Wow.
And, that was back, like I said, 40 years ago. I was lucky to join the company in 1988. um, and it was been just a tremendous experience. We've grown from operating small turboprop, unpressurized aircraft, all the way up to now, flying regional jets from Houston to Havana, and it's just amazing what's happened. And for me, it's been, just a lifetime that it's just been just fabulous being around aviation and aviation people. I've always had an interest in it, so a huge interest is all I ever thought about. I wish I could have been one of the helicopter guys
Yeah.
that we're hoping to get to come to Mesa, but unfortunately, my eyes never quite made the test. But Mesa's been a wonderful place. We've seen some terrific things. Just today, I was out on the ramp, waving in one of our pilots who was retiring. We don't have that many retirements for a while now. It seems like a little bit more frequently, but these are
Right.
guys who I've met now retiring at 65 that I've known since we were 30 years old. So these relationships
That's
go back.
crazy.
And I think one of the strongest things I can say about Mesa is that we really do feel that we are a family. I mean, we like to have that kind of relationship with everybody. It's a strong team. I mean, people take care of each other. I think that that's maybe one of our biggest selling points is the fact that everybody here has known each other for a long time. I've been CEO now for 24 years. I
Wow.
joke around with my new hires. Yeah, I say I'm the longest serving CEO in the industry. So that makes me, probably the dumbest as well. But it's because I just love aviation, and every now and then people talk about retirement and I tell them I'll know exactly when I'm going to retire is the first time a plane flies by and I don't look up.
Yeah.
And I still love aviation, and I'm just really happy to be here still. So
You
thank you
know,
very much for this opportunity.
yeah, and that's so cool because that's one of the things that we've found. We talked quite a bit last time about the Top Gun 2 coming out and how excited we were and how kind of silly it is. But those of us growing up, we still do it. We always laugh, and I've seen the meme after meme on all the social media. It's like, it's everybody looking up, and it's, oh, what happened? A helicopter passes by, And so military
Hmm.
aviators, we love aviation. And that's, I think, something that it's fun to share that with, you're running the company, and it's fun to share that with us. But one of the things that we love about Mesa is they're always willing to, one, help veterans, but really put something into this community, the RTAG community, and what you guys are working on. And so let's talk a little bit about the RTP that you guys have, and I think it's pretty exciting. So if you give me a rundown, and then we'll talk a little bit about that.
Sure. I mean, I appreciate what you're saying about the military. I mean, located in when we've formed in Farmington, we had probably half our pilots were former military pilots coming out of all the air bases around New Mexico, guys that wanted to stay in New Mexico. So we've always had a very strong attachment and have really enjoyed, hiring all the military people we have. In fact, one of our most senior guys here is a former A4 pilot. He's been with us for as long as I have, and still super active. He puts all of our airplanes on certificate. And so going into the rotor transition plan is just sort of, you know, continuation of what we started back in the late 80s in terms of the kind of hiring that we used to do. Now things have changed a little bit with the
Right.
changes in the regs, but I mean the fact is this kind of program where we basically give people a little financial assistance, I think is very helpful both to them and to us. These are quality people, these are great pilots, and people that have leadership skills and ability that we really want to bring to Mesa. In fact, one of the last hires that we just made, a guy who's really worked with me on all of our alternative aviation programs. Just came out of the military, 22 years flying helicopters, um, unbelievably good quality. I mean, just
Right.
a go-getter, and that attitude is what we really are looking forward to having at Mesa.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's great. I think that you'll not be disappointed. So let's talk a little bit about the program, right? So this is everybody's familiar that's watching or that's even heard of RTAG is familiar with rotor transition programs, right? It allows you to
Right.
go from the military with your rotor fix or your rotor licenses and then do a transition into all of your fixed wing requirements. And what's Mesa going to do as part of you guys' new rotor transition program?
Well, so what we're doing is basically providing people with $40,000 to assist them in that transition. And of course, we do ask for a commitment on the back
Sure.
end, but I think that's understandable. But the fact is that we think that this is, hopefully, enough that it really will make a difference for people and encourage people to make that transition, and secondly, to come to Mesa Airlines and begin their career at Mesa.
Wow, that's awesome. That's something that we've seen before. Obviously, pre-COVID, a lot we saw money coming out, but post-COVID, it's been one of those where people are taking their time to start back up. So there you go, RTAG Nation. If you're looking for places, $40,000 towards your transition, and which is an ample amount of money. And then you guys are going to partner on this initial kind of kickoff of the phase. You guys are partnering with Prey Aviation. Is that correct?
That's correct. And Prey is well known, they high quality operation. They've got locations around the country that we thought was important, so people could probably, if they're going to commute or going to have a closer place to be. So, I'm sure a lot of the military folks have already been out and about and away from their families a long time. So hopefully this will help ease that as well, and allowing them to make a choice of places to go that makes it a lot easier for them to get there and to take that training.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that will, that they've done a really good job about getting that transition people's. Now, have you all talked about what have you guys set your minimum requirements or what you're looking for to qualify for that transition program yet? Or is that something that's going to come?
No, I think what I'd like to do, and what I've talked to my flight ops people about, is we would like to sort of customize the program. So if you're interested, we would really encourage you to apply, because we want to make it doable for as many people as possible. I mean, look, there's no doubt there's a shortage out there, and it's affected all of us, particularly in the regional industry. We've had to become creative. We can talk a little bit maybe about the Aviate program that we now
Absolutely.
participate in
Yeah.
and the benefits of that. But I think the idea on the RTP program is to make it work for as many people as possible. These are good people. We want to help them, and it's a good investment for Mesa. I mean, it makes sense for everyone, and I really think that it's just a win-win, and something that we really want to pursue. We had an RTP program
Yep.
before COVID, but again, everybody kind of got lulled into inaction during COVID, and it sort of went away. I was really happy when Eric called me and said, "Jonathan, why don't you get back in and really help make this happen?" And I want to thank him for that too, because I'm really delighted that we're where we are, and that we're going to make this, so I believe, very successful.
Yeah, I agree. And again, having that ability to jump back in and customizing plans, which is great. That's something that those of you who are watching right now that are looking at RTPs, trying to figure out, do I meet this plan? Well, here's the deal. If you went to military flight school and you are probably close somewhere to 750 hours, get that application. And if there's a place that you're interested in, if Mesa is one of the places, especially if you need some extra money to, maybe you don't have any GI Bill, or maybe you don't have something that you can supplement that, it's going to be a great opportunity. Now, one of the things I know we were talking about earlier is, let's say somebody comes out and has only maybe $20,000 because they did some stuff. They only have $20,000 to finish. How does that work with the rest of the 40,000?
That's a good question. Which I actually, I have to tell you, I don't think I've thought it through exactly, because I always assume everybody needs the max, and that's what we'd be prepared to do. So I think that I'd have to defer to my flight ops people and how the
Smart.
plan's been put together. But I always figure everyone needs all the money. I mean, so
There you
I
go.
always assume it's going to be $40,000.
Yep. Well, then we'll leave that. We'll leave that to let you guys kind of define what's going to go on to that, and that's pretty exciting. And so Rotor Transition Program, folks, if you are watching and you're interested in Mesa, you can look at their website for all of their bases, especially if you live local. Have you guys decided what the commitment's going to be on the back end yet, or is that still a pending piece?
No, I think what we're looking for, because this is bigger. This is twice as big as our new hire bonus. It's a pretty significant amount of money. I think we're looking for a 3-year commitment. But
Okay.
I want to tell people about making a 3-year commitment to Mesa. That's also making almost a 3-year commitment to United Airlines, because we're the only independent large regional jet operator that participates in Aviate. And for those folks out there not familiar with Aviate, this is an incredible program. And I sometimes think that we really have not done a good job getting the word out. I mean, basically everyone at Mesa applies to Aviate and is accepted into the program. And we have folks who are transitioning to United in 3 years, and they're going on to a major carrier. And look, I'd love to have people come and stay forever, like Captain Whitman does, and some of my senior guys out there.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, for those people who want to make it to the majors, and look, there's a big financial incentive in doing that. I don't think you're going to get there any faster than doing it through Mesa's Aviate program. Even our competitors, at some of the other major airlines, you're talking about twice as much time. So I really think that this is such a great opportunity, because when you look at your total earnings coming to work at Mesa and then transitioning to United, you're at United for 2-3 years longer than you would be in any other transition program. That equates out to a lot of money, and I think a great lifestyle. I mean, being a pilot right now, there's been in the past where there's a lot of uncertainty in the industry, but
Right.
right now there's one thing that there's no doubt about. That's a pilot shortage and the need for pilots.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's great. So like we said, if you are a military aviator, and you, Mesa has the stuff that you want and you need that extra chunk to really get up to it, get in there, apply, let them take a look at your applications and figure out a way to get that. And again, this is just the beginning, a tip of the iceberg. It's going to expand, as they go. And so that's very awesome to see 40,000. In fact, I believe right now that is the largest contribution from an airline towards the rotor transition program. So that's awesome. I really thank you guys for that. That's super exciting. So real quick, and if you are prepared to answer this, I did get one live question that I think is interesting. Somebody's asking, what's the the Aviate program? Because we know that, but what's the Aviate program? And then is there an intermediate step between Mesa and United? Yeah, go for that.
No, I mean, the Aviate program was designed as a way for United to bring zero-time pilots into the pilot ranks, and they started off with, getting them to their point where they have, all their everything that they need, except the 1,000 hours or so to become a pilot. Mesa is now participating in that. All of our pilots apply for Aviate. They're accepted into the Aviate program, which basically gives them a place in the movement to United Airlines.
Awesome.
And as I said, I mean, we have people who have transitioned to United in 3 years, and no, there's no middle ground. You go from Mesa to United, and
cool.
they take a not insignificant amount of pilots every month, and I think that getting on that list would be very valuable to people if in fact that's your if that's what your choice is, that you want to fly larger equipment and advance your career through a major airline. I just don't think there's any way faster to do it outside of Mesa and United's Aviate program.
That's awesome. Well, we're getting a ton of questions already about the next topic that we thought we were going to get, right? Is those folks who weren't military aviators, but are wanting to get into aviation. So guess what? Mesa didn't leave you out either. They have worked an E2A program. And again, it's just the very tip of the iceberg as they're going to expand this program. But let's talk a little bit about those who need a little bit of money to finish up and they were never military aviators. But let's talk about the program that you guys have been working on for them.
Yeah, I think, this is one of the first, or maybe the first program like this. And basically this E2A program is structured so that folks who are coming out of the military, we're going to provide with $30,000, only ask for a 2-year commitment, and then help those folks be able to move forward in their career and build those hours necessary to come and work at a commercial airline, with Mesa Airlines. And so, this is something that's a little broader, obviously.
Yep.
But, for those people who have the dedication to go out there and become aviators, that's a big deal too. We want to help them and do what we can to assist them in that opportunity and come to Mesa. Again, these are all, we know the level of quality. We have a lot of people here who are ex-military, and those are the people we want, and we're going to do what we can to help get them here.
Yeah, that's awesome. And, so one of the things that we talk about, so if you didn't know, if you're somebody who was maybe a backseater or maintainer and you've been working on your aviation stuff to come to an airline and you're close, they're going to have more details out here soon on their website and through their recruiters that can give you a little bit more fine point details. But you can come in, you're closing on that 1,500 hour. You need just a little bit to put you over that top to get you there. They're going to give you $30,000 right now to help you finish that gap up and then have that job at Mesa. And then again, they're part of that Aviate program. So you could literally go to $30,000, finish up your last little bit, end up at Mesa in however many years, 3-ish, a little more than 3 years, I'm not sure, be at United. And so that's amazing.
Well, it's just I've never seen, like I said, I've been doing this a long time, and started off in aviation with a tiny little carrier in Los Angeles where I was loading bags in 1987. I have never seen anything like this. I mean, it's a remarkable time to be a pilot in this industry, and the opportunities are just unmatched. I'd like to think that Mesa is a good selection for people. We have great hubs, which is another thing that quality of life is important to folks. We have a hub here in Phoenix. We have one in Houston, we have one in Dallas, and we have one on the East Coast in Washington at Dulles. Even, the East Coast is a little trickier sometimes for people, but Dulles is a
Sure.
good hub to, commute in and out of because it's not as congested as a Newark or JFK or Atlanta. So we find that we have a lot of pilots that make Dulles home and really enjoy being out there, being on the East Coast as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've already got people saying 2-year commitment for 30K. Where do I sign up? Well, go to Mesa's website and they'll be able to tell you. We did get an interesting question, and I'll go ahead and ask it here, but I think we kind of answered it, is that what about an E2A guys who've already started their flight training and need less than 30K to finish? Sean, sign up, dude. Go in there, reach out to their recruiters and tell them your situation. Like Jonathan was saying, is that they want to tailor it to, they already know they want you. Let's just put it that way, right? Well, they already know that they want the veteran.
Right.
They want to be able to tailor a program that's going to fit your needs and make sure that you can get exactly what you need and show up. Now, we do know right now you guys are looking at roughly about 6 months, right? You want to be able to have that E2A be able to finish up in the 6 months with the 30K. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think that when we look at it, that obviously would be most attractive to us. But again, I don't want to cut anybody out because they say, hey, it may take me a little bit longer. I got to work. I can't build the hours as fast. I mean, we're not in a position where we want to eliminate anybody just because of a timing issue. If people are dedicated and they want to come to Mesa, we're going to figure out a way to make that happen.
Absolutely. Cavu 9 lane, does Mesa accept any of the RATP applicants? They do. You guys take restricted ATPs, correct?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yep. So make
And
sure
I
you
think
apply.
that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we are looking. I mean, I have to tell you, as a CEO, I have obviously a broad responsibility for the
Right.
airline, but I will tell you right now that I am probably spending 60% of my time on pilot recruitment, pilot training, new ways to do things because it's so critical. And I think it will set us apart from other regionals when we focus on these kind of innovative programs. I mean, I'm told this is the first of its kind. I'm very proud of that fact that our people put this together with
Yeah.
your help. And I think that, we just will continue to look at these kind of programs. Aviate was the first of its kind. I mean, we have to be creative in times like this, and that's why Mesa has been around for 40 years, and I expect it to be around another 40.
Awesome. Somebody just asked a question. Can this 30K be used through Prey or just Aviate? To answer that question, that is going to be through Prey. Again, starting out with the E2A, that's going to go, you'll train at Prey. And the Aviate program is essentially the program that you're going to be as a part of once you're at the Mesa side. So, yep, that's going to be awesome. And that's really cool for me. And somebody actually said a great response to that. It's really cool about that you are spending so much time that it's personal to you about bringing in the right people and being successful there. So that's I know for us that's really really good to hear. One of the questions before we go to some more live questions is one of the things that I want to think is a question we ask everybody, right? Why Mesa? What sets Mesa apart a little differently? I know personally about some of the 737 stuff. There's those opportunities are growing, but tell people a little bit why you think that would be a Mesa would be a good fit for somebody to come out and do something a little different.
Well, it's funny. I was so excited to talk about these other things in Aviat. I forgot to even mention the 737s. I mean, one of the things that we have done is really tried to be innovative as far as the growth of the company. We're the only regional airline that flies 737s right now. We only fly 3, but you got to start somewhere. We
Sure.
fly them under contract with DHL. I believe that they're looking forward to us, as a potential growth candidate because I think we've done a really good job for them. And we look at it as a terrific opportunity to diversify our business. And I think, we are putting a fair amount of focus in that for what's only three aircraft. But like I said, you got to start somewhere. In that program, obviously their wage levels become, they're the highest in the industry. And I think that that's one of the areas that is going to be important. I also, though, think that why Mesa is the fact that, again, we're the only regional carrier flying only large jets. You don't have to, go into a, 30-year-old 50-seat airplane. You can go into an Embraer or a CRJ 900 flying for United or American in really good hubs. Again, not to make fun of my friends on the East Coast, but I don't know what it would take for me to, have to fly out of Newark or, Cleveland or something like that. I mean, I'm really happy to be out here on the West Coast, and
Yeah.
I do think that's advantageous. And I also said I think the way we have very senior management here. People have been around for a long time.
Right.
We wouldn't be around if we didn't care about our people and want to do the right thing. I mean, so many CEOs, the average lifespan of a CEO in the industry is under 5 years. And, I like being here. I want to be here. And I think it's really because, I'd like to think it's because we care about our people. We want to do the right thing, and we
Right.
run the company in that regard. Never giving anyone a pay cut. We just focus on, like I said, doing the right thing. We're not, I mean, I'm the first to tell you, we're not the highest paid in the industry.
Right.
We are trying to put in higher pay rates and working very cooperatively with our union. They're really good guys I've known forever. But I think that most people look back and say, when they look back on a career at Mesa, or they look back and have gone to United, I think they all have said good things to say about Mesa as their time while they were here.
That's awesome. And in fact, a guy I work with really closely here, who's my counterpart here at my airline as well, his name's Casey Meeks. He was a Mesa guy as well for a long time, and did enjoy that quite a bit. Well, that's awesome. And I think there are definitely some unique places to go. And again, Mesa's, for those of you who are asking, Mesa may not be the perfect place for you, but it also may be the perfect place for you. You're going to have so many things to pick. And I think that looking at companies that are willing to put their money where their mouth is, which is the term we always use, but to really invest in not just veterans, but the RTAG veterans, is super exciting, to see what we, what they're willing to do. So I'm going to pull up a couple of questions. They're coming in really quick. So we'll try to do a couple of them I'll answer, and a couple of them we can leave to you. Oh man. These are going really fast. Mixed Devil Dog says, so 6 months for RTP, then 8 months in training. Does that sound right? No, Devil Dog, the 6 months, for the or 8 months in training, the 6 months, they'd like you to be done in 6 months from the time they give you the job offer. For the RTPs, most of those places you can do quicker than 6 months. And then how long, I'm assuming he's asking how long the training program at Mesa is. How long is the training program at Mesa? Okay,
so it really depends on which equipment type you're in, because it's just a matter of how much sim time we have available. The CRJ, for those people who select to go into CRJ, our footprint is very low. It's like probably under 70 days.
Okay.
So a little over, a couple months. On the 175, it's a little bit longer, just because, we just got a second sim. We had to spool up instructors. So we're probably closer to about 120 days right now, but I think that time will come down as we spool up that second sim.
Okay,
and
awesome.
We are getting a second sim on the CRJ as well.
Oh, great. That's great. All Niner asks, how do we apply? So I assume the recruiting page at Mesa-Air, is that what it is? Mason-air.com. And you can apply there, and their recruiters will link up with you as quick as possible.
Hey, anybody that wants to email their application, just send it to jonathan.ornstein@mesa-air.com, and I will personally walk it over to the recruiters, who, by the way, sit about 10 yards away from me. That's how important recruiting is at Mesa Airlines right now.
There you go. You heard that. You can email him directly, and he'll make sure it gets to the right people. E2A is only through Prey. Currently, yes, it's only through Prey. Obviously, like he said many times, you got to start somewhere. And they've worked out some deals with Prey to work through that. So yes, currently that is with Prey. Let's see. Here's an interesting one that a couple people have asked. If we have a CMEL already, can the funds be used for time building without getting a CFI rating? So that would depend, Eric, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit above my pay grade, so you might want to help me on that one. I'm not quite sure.
Eric, it's going to depend on where you're at in hours wise and training, and whether you're capable of getting a restricted ATP for military flight, or if you did all your civilian flight training, didn't go through military flight school. But that's a great question. Reach out to the recruiters there and let them look at your situation, because that's what my recommendation would be. If you even think you're close or have the question, let Mesa look, and it never hurts. Maybe you can't go to finish this program till next year, but it never hurts to have yourself on the radar of these airlines to be looking. Absolutely. Somebody asks if there's a cadet program that for someone like them who has isn't a CFI, but time building on their own 150, which I don't think this would meet that criteria, but again, reach out to Mesa and see if there's other opportunities through their programs.
Yeah, we do have a cadet program actually, and again, I think the best thing is to just contact the recruiters. They're really good people. They're it's a young group that is very outgoing. They'll get back to you right away and let you know where you could fit in. If you want to come to work at Mesa, this is my promise. We will do everything we can to figure out a way to make that happen.
Here's one that one of the things you talked about. Man, they're going by quick. Jeepin says that Mesa doesn't have the highest pay, but they do have a great pilot group and they do miss the people they flew with. So again, pay is one of those things that is always going to be an issue and always going to be fluid. And, like you said, pilot group, I'm at a airline that also that's a ULCC that may not have the highest pay, but man, it's amazing pilot group. So that's something to consider. I will tell you that pay is not always 100% of the issue, but like Jonathan said earlier, that's something that they're actively working on to make sure that gets increased as well.
Well, and I'll tell you this on pay. I used to have these discussions with the pilots all the time, and back in Farmington, we'd all go out and have drink beer on Wednesday nights together and get into very fun conversations. And my only point is just that in the old days, what we'd look at, say, but look at what you earn at Mesa over, say, a 5-year period, because we could upgrade people so fast that I used to joke around and tell the pilots, there's no such thing as a 5-year first officer at Mesa as a unicorn. It's a mythical creature because we always could upgrade people. We always could upgrade people really quickly because we were growing all the time. Now it's different today. I mean, there's no doubt everyone is upgrading people. There are a lot of carriers that are flying, are hiring pilots as entry-level captains. So there's no doubt that we need to do things a little bit differently, which is precisely why, we're working with our ALPA, folks and making something like that happen. And I'm sure that something will happen soon. So I'm comfortable that when people take a look at the total package, I think they'll feel very comfortable that they're getting compensated both fairly and in a way that will further their career, which in the end is really what most folks are looking for when they go to a regional airline.
Absolutely. One more time, I'm getting a bunch of questions about it's the Mesa-air.com, correct?
Right. And I'm really serious. People, I'm happy to have, this is so important. They can email me directly. It's Jonathan, JONATHAN.ORNSTEIN at Mesa-AIR.com. And I will make sure, I will walk it over to the recruiter who literally is 20 feet away from me and make sure that your application gets attention right away.
Awesome. Yeah, and I think somebody's going to put that in the chat for us. Here's one that's kind of out of the realm, but could be interesting that we could have somebody asked about, is there anything for civilian helicopter pilots that are looking to transition to fixed wing? Camden, there's a bunch of stuff on our website that can link you to that as well. And that might be able to help you out. But again, email the folks at Mesa and see what there is available. I know that there are options out there, just not exactly sure what specifics you're going to need. But yes, there are programs out there. Last few. Okay, somebody did post it for you. Thanks, Albert Martinez. Awesome. Thanks, PJ. Looks like it's right there. Man, you're gonna get a bunch of emails, I think. So, well, I won't keep you any longer. Any last few things that you'd like to put out or before we close it up?
Well, first, again, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to give me the opportunity to do this. Josh, in particular, thanks for being on the show. I really hope that I can meet you guys. I always make a point of going to the new hire training classes. So I'd love to see some of you guys, and I hope that, and gals, excuse me, and just tell me you met and you thought about it on the show. I'd love to hear from you and get your thoughts on Mesa training, and then when you get online, exactly how much fun it is. So thanks again for everything. I can't tell you how much I appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Jonathan, thanks so much. Thanks for your commitment to our RTAG community. And we look forward, if you get a chance, come down to DFW, it'd be great. And come down and hang out and come to the 80s party. But yeah, we really appreciate it. And thanks for Mesa for being such a big supporter of ours as well. And again, always putting money where the mouth is and allowing us to do this for our veterans. And we appreciate it. And with that, we'll have a good one and we'll talk later. All right, see ya. Well, there you have it, everybody. That was Jonathan, and he is the CEO of Mesa Airlines, and he was just fantastic, and I really appreciate the time for them to stop by. Listen, we've got, sorry, I couldn't get to all those questions. I apologize. They're literally scrolling through my screen really quick. I will tell you, again, we see so many things and so many different airlines. And if you've been in the industry for more than a second, no airline is perfect. No airline is exactly what everybody needs. There's just ebbs and flows of what it is. But, we always try to take the time out as the leadership of RTAG to make sure that we thank those who are willing to, one, put money towards veterans, put money towards our community, and do what they can do to try and help and do things better. I encourage you to reach out. The emails are there. I encourage you to reach out to them if you're interested in Mesa, and get some real information. Reach out to people that are pilots at Mesa. Talk to them. We always encourage to do the research and really find out the places that are going to work best for you and your family, and the expectations that you have, whether it's quality of life, whether it's pay, whether it's the type of aircraft, the type of flow that they have to a certain legacy or ULCC or something like that. So we just want to say thanks again for him stopping by, and they are going to be at the RTAG convention in DFW. So that's really exciting. Last few things before we close up shop. We have another RTAG merch quarterly store opening up here soon. We've got some new designs that are going to be pretty neat. Some I think that are pretty funny that will work out pretty well. But if you haven't booked, or if you didn't get a chance to get some of the swag last time, make sure you get a chance to do it this time. We probably won't have all the same stuff, but we're going to look at some new colors for the RTAG shirts, and we've got some new hats coming that are pretty cool that should work out. And those of you, we've been seeing those sported around, the RTAG hats being sported around has been a lot of fun to see. That we, like I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, if you hadn't seen it, we have we're closing in on 3,000 registrations for this event, and just wanted to update you on a couple of things that we've got coming up. The 80s party that we talked about, which is going to be our scholarship giveaway, our announcements. We've got American Airlines is speaking there. We have a big barbecue. We got a live 80s band, costume contests, things like that for our scholarship awards gala this year. We are working actively right now with the Fort Worth Convention Center to try and get more space for that. So we want to be able to get as many people into that as we can. So as soon as I have information on that, I'm going to start making announcements. And like we did last time, we're going to open up the max amount of tickets we have. But once they're gone this last time, they will be gone. So make sure that if you want to come to that 80s party on Saturday night, it'll be the 22nd, I believe. But whatever that Saturday night is, make sure that you sign up and you get those tickets. They're free. Share this video out if you have people that are interested in looking at getting their transition done, if they're maybe interested in Mesa. We have the next couple of weeks. We've got some more live shows coming up. We've got James from Raven Careers going to talk about all the things you need to prep for coming for interviews at the convention. He's going to talk about kind of the industry status. We're going to be giving away Bose headsets. We've got a bunch of Bose headsets that have come. We have partnered with Eagle Eye Optics as well, and you can get some incredible shades. We're going to be giving those away, and then we're going to be posting on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you go over there, subscribe. Oh, I get to do this little fun thing, and we're going to be doing what we're calling RTAG reviews. So I've got a series of things where I've looked at different cooler bags, different glasses, things that you need on the road, and just kind of giving reviews for those. And that's great. I did want to update you on donations. Those of you who have been using Amazon added us as a donation. We are just got another, contribution from them through that program for almost $400. And so while that doesn't seem like a lot of money, when you think about how that happens, monthly over the year, that's money that we're able to give back out in scholarships. That is just so exciting. We have, like I said, if you haven't done scholarships or haven't applied, make sure you get on there. We have the RTAG Nation, sponsored by American Airlines, $20,000 scholarship. We've got two $5,000 scholarships that are brought from RTAG Nation, brought to you by Envoy. We've got a $10,000 Board of Directors scholarship that's from us. We've got a $10,000 Chris Besdes scholarship. All of these things are for your transition and to help you get more money to put towards that, so that you're able to make this transition without having to hopefully spend a lot of your hard-earned money. So I'm looking here. People are super excited about the $40,000. That is amazing. That is the top money given out for RTPs in the industry. Here's the link for RTAG scholarships. And I'll take a couple questions real quick live, and then we'll close it out. Jason, how can we volunteer for the convention? Unfortunately, I believe our volunteers are closed. We actually had way more than we needed this year. But definitely come. Even though you can't volunteer, please come to the convention. It's going to be incredible. We're going to have a great time, and there'll be more and more information to come. We are going to do some limited edition RTAG merchandise that you're only going to be able to get at the convention. And I'm super excited. We'll start announcing that, kind of showing you what it's going to be. That's going to be pretty fun. And we're working on some new pins, some new tie tacks, and a few other things that's really going to make it better. So let me look and see if I got any more questions. Flight bags, I assume flight bags, you're wanting if I can do reviews on flight bags. I've got a couple. I've got a Strong Bags review, some Luggage Works review, and so those will be interesting. And I've got those, and I've actually been working with those bags over the last 3 years on different types of environments. So there's it'll be a good review, exhaustive about how they stand up and things like that. More space at the 80s party. We're working on it. We are working on it. I will announce that as soon as possible. And keep in mind, like I said, in 2 weeks, I can't remember, let me see. 2 weeks from now, Thursday, 2 weeks will be, I believe it's going to be it's 3 weeks. It's going to be the Thursday, the 28th is going to be the next RTAG Nation Live, Thursday, the 28th with James from Raven Careers. You will not want to miss that. James is awesome. Raven's been a huge support of ours, and they're going to help give you a ton of advice on how to be ready for the event, how to have your interviews locked tight, how to have your resumes locked tight. They've been a big supporter for a long time. So I am, of course, Josh Lee, the VP, and for RTAG Nation, that is it for us tonight. We are so thankful for you to stop by, share, subscribe on YouTube, and share this with any friends that you have, and keep going, keep pushing forward, keep proving to people that those of us veterans that are ready to go to these airlines are really worth the investment and the time. So with that said, is glad to see you guys, and RTAG Nation, we're out.